Hello, this is Dr. Mears, and today we are going to be learning about Spearman's rank. Spearman's correlation coefficient shows the extent to which one variable increases or decreases as the other variable increases. We will be calculating a value of R sub S. This will remind you of correlation, which is linear regression. Spearman's correlation is very similar. However, our original data, does not have to be linear. The value will be in the interval -1 is less than or equal to R sub S, which is less than or equal to 1. This means it's never going to be -2. It's never going to be +2. It's going to stay between these values. Can it be 0? Yes. Can it be -0.5? Absolutely. It's just never going to go outside the realm of this. It's going to stay in this group. So what do the numbers mean? What do these numbers mean? A R sub S value close to +1 tells us that the Y variable increases as the X variable increases. The closer the number to +1, the stronger the positive correlation. Yes, you're remembering. I remember this. Okay. A correlation coefficient, an R sub S value close to -1 tells us that as the Y variable decreases, the X variable increases. The closer the number to -1, the stronger the negative correlation. An R sub S value close to 0 tells us that the variables do not consistently increase or decrease. The closer to 0, the weaker the correlation. And of course, I said this before, it will always stay between -1 and 1, inclusive, meaning including -1 and 1. So if it is a -1, absolutely fine. All right, let's do an example. Example, Dr. M wanted to train for a 2-kilometer race. Each week, she recorded her time that she spent training in hours and the time for her to run the 2 kilometers at the end of the week. Notice I'm training in hours and I'm taking the time to run the 2 kilometers in minutes. It's okay that these are different. We don't have to worry about these being different, which is great. All right, let's find the Spearman's rank correlation coefficient for the data. Step 1. In the table below, we are going to rank the X data, our time spent training, from lowest to highest, and then rank the Y data, time to run, from lowest to highest. 1 represents lowest. So right now I'm just going to look at my X data right here, just these numbers, and I need you to tell me which one is the lowest number. And you should say 17. So this one is going to get a number 1 in the rank. So where this box is, it's 1, 2, it's the third one, 1, 2, I'm going to put it right here. So I'm just making a new table, writing down exactly where that number ended up, but instead of the number 17, I'm giving it a rank of 1. That's the lowest number. Okay, let's look. What's the next lowest number? Well, here you see a 23. Uh-oh, and here you also see a 23. Now, we would go 2, 3, but we can't do that. We can't do 2, 3 because these are the same. They need the same ranking. So if there is a tie, we have a tie, 23 and 23. There is a tie. Take the average of the rank. So I'm going to take 2, I'm going to take 3. So 2 plus 3 divided by 2 is 2.5. Basically, it's just going to be a 0.5 number. So 2 plus 3 is 2.5. So instead of getting the rank of 2, this is going to get a 2.5. Instead of getting a rank of 3, this is going to be a 2.5 because these were tied. And I'm going to write that down in exactly the boxes that they match up with. Okay, so here's 23 and 23. Now, the next number that I would be on, so I went 1, 2.5, 2.5. I would have gone 2, 3, but the next number is a number 4. I'm on the actual 4th rank. 1, 2, 3, I'm on the 4th rank. So what's the next one? What's the next lowest? And I see that I have a 29. So this gets a number 4. The reason why this gets a 4, and it's a common mistake, a lot of people want to write 3, but a reason that it gets the 4 is because I already used the 2 and 3 ranks. I used the 2 and 3 ranks to get a rank of 2.5 because these were tied. So be careful. You're going to go up to that next rank. So because I already used these, this 29 gets a rank of 4. Okay, what's the next one? You see it's 34, so that's going to get a rank of 5. And what's the highest one? 45, so that's going to get a rank of 6. So I ranked them in order. If there was a tie, I added them up and I took that tie. Okay, let's do the same thing for the y's. So let's go. Which one is the lowest here? I have 8. That's going to get a rank of 1. So I'm going to put that right here. That's where the 8 is. That's the rank of 1. What's the next one? I see that I have the next number up is going to be a 10, so that's going to get a rank of 2. Okay. What's the next one? 11 and 11. Okay. So this would be a 3 and a 4, but we can't do ranks 3 and 4. So what do? Take the average. So I'm going to add 3 plus 4, divide by 2. You're right, 3.5. And if you want to remember that it's just going to be like the 0.5, that's fine. Okay, so right here, 11 gets a 3.5 and 11 gets a 3.5. That's out. So now here's the thing. I use the rank of 3 and I use the rank of 4 to get this 3.5. So what's the next rank up? Right, the next rank up is a 5. So that's here, that's a 5 because that was the 12. And what's the last number? The 14, so that was a 6. That was the 6. So I now have my nice new table. And the reason why I gave you a nice new table is because this is a lot. That's kind of got messy. So now I have my nice new table based upon the ranks of my X and the ranks of the Y. So that is the ranking system that we need to use. Now we're going to be putting this into our calculator. The X is always going to be L1 and the Y is always going to be L2. So let's see what that looks like. Step 2, let's calculate our R sub S using our calculator. First, we need to enter our data. Stat, edit, enter. Enter L1, the rank in hours, which I already have here, and enter L2, the rank Y. And oops, sorry, that should have been minutes, everybody. Change your sheets, minutes. Okay, in minutes. Okay, so once you pause the video, put your information in. Now that we're back, we're going to calculate our R sub S. So let's press Stat. We need to arrow over now to Calc. Be careful, it's just Calc. And we want to do a number 4. Number 4 is the linear regression. I told you this was going to remind you of last year, linear regression. So I'm going to press 4. Now here's the thing. I don't have a menu coming up. If you do have a menu, if you have that means that you have your stat wizard on. So the menu should look like this if you have a menu. If you don't, what we have to do is we have to actually tell the calculator, second one, I want it on L1, comma, don't forget the comma is above the 7, comma is above the 7. And then I need to tell it and list 2. So second 2 is and list 2, and then you press enter. And what you get is this menu, and you have R equals negative 0.955. I'm just going to rewrite it as negative 0.96. You may do that. I just rewrote it down here, negative 0.96. Now, a couple troubleshooting aspects. If you're not getting this R, if you do not have an R, so no R, this is what you need to do. You need to press second, and then you need to press mode. Mode is the number right next to it. This means that, actually, that quits it out of there. So let's press second mode one more time. Second mode. Oh, my bad. Erase that. Scrap that. Second mode quits. This means that you just quit. Okay. And now just press mode again. So you press second mode and it quits, gives you, anytime you want to go back to this blank screen, press second mode. Now let's press mode right here, mode right there. And you need to scroll down. See where it says stat diagnostics here? See this, stat diagnostics? You have to make sure that that's on. If it's not on, you are not going to get your R. So go down to stat diagnostics, put the little black box on and press enter. That makes sure it's turned on. So you need to make sure your stat diagnostics is on. Okay, not off. And then you're going to press enter. Then you can go back and you can run your correlation. You go stat over arrow to calc, so on and so forth. Now, just to show the other people, everybody else, if you did have a menu, this is what the menu should look like. Frequency, this should be blank. Please don't have anything in frequency, and the store reg EQ, that should be blank as well. So you can just go down and calculate, and you should see that you get the same thing. So here we had if your stat wizard wasn't on, if your menu did come up, and if you didn't get the R, that's because you had to go fix it. Now, here's your R. Write your conclusion. First, you state your R. So R, and I'm going to put a little sub S equals negative 0.96. And I'm going to write that out. Spearman's correlation coefficient is negative 0.96. Okay, now let's write our conclusion based upon R being close to either positive 1, negative 1, or 0. See notes on first page. So this number, negative 0.96, is very, very, very close to which one? To negative 1. So that tells us as the y variable decreases, well, what's our y variable? Our y variable is my time to run the 2 kilometers in minutes. So as my time to run the 2 kilometers decreases, the x variable, training time, or time training, increases. The closer to negative 1, the stronger the negative correlation. Let's write that out in a nice sentence for everybody. So, first, there is, let's start with since R sub S equals negative 0.96 and is very close to negative 1, we have a strong negative correlation. As Dr. M's time to run the 2 kilometers in minutes decreases, her time spent training in hours increases. Oh, looks like I'm going to have to keep training and keep training longer. And that's what you could keep going on here. Suggestion for Dr. Mears, keep training longer hours and your time's going to go down. And so this test proves that all of my time that I spent training here is actually helping me to run the race, run the 2 kilometers faster. And so this is nice for an IA because it actually will prove that as my time to run decreases, my time spent training increases. And that's what Spearman's rank does. Hopefully this helped. Try it out. You have an example that I gave you, and let me know if you have questions. Thank you.